Ever wonder how you'd actually build a tool to reprogram your own mind? Well, that's what we're doing today. We're not getting into whether it works or not. That's a whole other conversation. Instead, we're going to reverse engineer its design. We're taking a deep dive into something called the subconscious wealth reprogrammer to see exactly what makes it tick. Ready? Let's get into it.
So here it is, the name of the game. And let me tell you, this title, it's not a suggestion. It is a straight-up command. I am rich and wealthy. Think about that. It's the very first thing you see, the very first piece of programming it's trying to install while you're sleeping. This isn't just a label, folks. This is the front door to the whole system we're about to take apart.
All right, so to really understand this, we're going to break it down into 3 key parts. First, the format, the delivery system. Then, the content. What's the actual message being delivered? And finally, the tone. What's the whole vibe, the atmosphere it's trying to create? Let's see how these 3 pieces are supposed to fit together. Okay, first up, the mechanism. This is basically the engine of the entire system, and it's not just about what you're hearing, but how you're hearing it. At the very heart of it all is a really simple but super powerful idea, a continuous repeating loop.
3. Just 3. That is the magic number here. We're talking about a 3-hour continuous loop. Not 30 minutes, not even an hour. 3 full hours. And you've got to believe that's not some random number they pulled out of a hat. No, this is a very deliberate choice. It's designed to stretch across multiple sleep cycles, which is exactly when your brain is busy organizing memories and is supposedly way more open to suggestion.
So the whole method really stands on these 3 pillars. Number 1 is consistency. You got to listen to it every single night to really hammer that pattern in. Number 2 is personalization. The messages are always in the first person. I am this, I am that, speaking directly to your identity. And number 3, duration. That relentless 3-hour loop we just talked about. The goal here seems pretty clear. Create an environment of repetition that's almost impossible to escape.
Okay, so now we get the delivery system, right? The how. Let's talk about the what, the message itself. If that loop is the engine, then this stuff is the fuel. I mean, what are you listening to for 3 hours straight every night? The source actually has a name for it, the language of opulence. Now, before I reveal the exact words, let's just look at the style of this language. First off, it's really rhythmic, almost like a chant or a mantra. And it's always in the present tense. That's a classic hypnosis technique, right? You're not talking about a future goal, you're framing it as something that's happening right now. And maybe most importantly, the whole focus is on attraction, not on taking action.
All right, here's the first big one. I am a magnet for money. That little phrase, I am. Wow. It's such a powerful declaration of identity, isn't it? The whole idea here is to completely shift your mindset. You're no longer someone who has to chase or work for money. You're someone who just naturally attracts it, effortlessly. And then they double down on that with this next one. It uses this really powerful natural imagery. Money flows to me like a waterfall. I mean, just picture that for a second. A waterfall. It's unstoppable, right? It's abundant. It's constant. This isn't just some nice-sounding phrase. It's a full-on persuasive tool, and it's designed to paint a picture of overwhelming, effortless abundance right inside your head.
And here's where it gets a little more cosmic. This one shows the final layer of the message. It moves away from a physical metaphor, like the magnet, to something way more abstract: frequency. I am aligned with the frequency of opulence. So the idea here is that wealth isn't just something you pull towards you. It's a state of being. It's like a radio station, a vibration that you have to tune yourself into.
And that idea of frequency is the perfect transition to our final piece of the puzzle, the atmosphere. Because it's not just about the words you're hearing, it's about the entire sonic world they're placed in. This whole element is engineered to get you into the perfect mental state for those messages to sink in.
So how is this tone described? As serene and expansive. Notice, it's not energetic or motivating. Not at all. The whole point is to be calming, to sort of lower the guard of your conscious, critical mind, the part of you that says, wait a minute. The goal is to bypass that and make your subconscious way more open to suggestion.
And this really shows you just how intentional that choice is. Think about it. An energetic tone, that's for your morning workout playlist, right? It's all about getting you to take conscious action. But a serene tone, that's built for subconscious absorption. It's basically the difference between a coach screaming, "Go!" in your ear and a hypnotist whispering, "You are."
Okay,
So let's put all the pieces back on the table. We've looked at the mechanism, the message, and the atmosphere. So how do all these parts lock together to create a tool that promises to make you the architect of your destiny? This is it. The blueprint, plain and simple. You've got the 3-hour loop for nonstop repetition. You've got the first-person I am affirmations to literally write a new identity script. And you've got that serene, expansive tone to create the perfect state for your subconscious to just soak it all up. Every single part is designed to work with the others, all pointing in one direction.
And that is the stated goal of the whole operation. This entire machine, the format, the content, the tone, it's all aimed at one single outcome: to fundamentally change your internal programming so that you start to see yourself as the one and only creator, the architect of your financial world.
But let's just put that into perspective for a second. Let's do the math. 3 hours a night, every single night, for a whole year. That comes out to 1,095 hours. Just let that sink in. Over 1,000 hours in a single year, listening to the very same messages over and over and over again.
And that really brings us to the final big question. We've taken the tool apart, we've looked at the blueprint, we've even calculated the sheer amount of exposure. So the only thing left to ask is, what is the real effect of a single, focused message when it's repeated for 1,095 hours, year after year after year?